Welcome, trolls. First sees all.
To take 1 minute to show you something funny and crazy. This is what I look like when I go camping. Well, no, but the last time I went camping, yeah, I found a stump on my way to the bathroom at camping, and when I came back to the fire, my friend took a couple pictures, and he was like, "What the hell?" So I sort of scared off a few people because we're at the end of the campsite, where cars would arrive to see if the last campsite was taken, which I always take, when rarely, but when I go. So people look at all the orbs. So people came and turned around at the campfire, and this is how I would stand. I didn't get anybody. I'm dead serious, by the way. It was fun. So I said, "Hey, I'm in my army pants and my hoodie," and so there I am going to the bathroom with my hoodie and my orbs on the way to the bathroom. So, welcome everyone. We're going to have a great video. Let's go see construction on the move. Well, week 2, everybody, laryngitis. So I'm not answering the phone. I'm not even talking to anybody. Marty, I ain't answering the phone, brother. I couldn't even half talk this morning. I was feeling like crap. Leaving my voice time to heal, y'all. That's what's going on right now. Everyone dying in the world, and it's freaking me out. So I ain't even going outside. I'm staying home, packing up on vitamin C. Structures on the surface of the moon. Not just any structure. The best image that I've ever seen of a moon structure. Over to the right. There you go. The contour white line that you see around symmetrical is obviously my lens. And that is a pipe going into a crater. Yep. I'm going to explain that to you in more detail. So right here beside the crater, we see the massive lines. Let's push back a little bit to see it better. One of my favorite areas. See the pill shape over to the right there. We saw all the channels, right? All the researching channels that are trying to attack me. They were all really good to try to find the crater, and they found the crater. They just can't see the structures. That's the funniest part. Right there, you can see the proof. And again, we're going to look at some mining images from here on Earth also to compare a little bit to those craters that we see on the moon, because I don't know. I really don't believe anymore at all that these are meteor impacts. That's just my opinion. I have here a blurry image. Excuse the voice, everyone. A blurry image of the surface of a company. Here's the crater right here, and there's the pipe going into it. There's the contour of the outline of the construction and connections right here. Here, hard to see, very hard to see, are paths and lines right there. We've all seen quarries before, and we all know what they look like when we approach them. You have lines going down into the quarries, which are roads that are cut out into the rock that often look like paths, right? From far away, that's what they would definitely look like. Depending on how big these paths are, or how big the craters are. Look here, the base-like object with this towering bent object here. You could see the objects. Here's something towering also off the surface. Rectangular, sort of symmetrical forms. Not sort of, they're built. You could see them. And they have a bright white reflective surface. And look at this. Look at all the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are lines crossing, joining the pipe stack, or that line, that pipe that's running in or just beside the bloody crater right there. It's right there. All these lines and attachments. We're looking at buildings. It's just that everyone sees them. You all see what I'm saying. It's just that nobody necessarily believes it's on the moon, but it really is. We're right beside Clavius crater here. I ain't hiding anything. By the way, that's Earth's side, closest to Earth. There are buildings there. Not easy to see, but not impossible to understand and see. Big platform there. So now we're looking at it upside down, all the objects underneath. And again, this one's going right into the crater. But watch the line that's right beside it. You can see there are bridges, corridors, or paths whatever, pathways, whatever you want them to be. On the surface, something that has always fascinated me, and it always will fascinate me, look at the intensity of light. There's a stationary point coming up. The one on the left is stationary. The one on the right is moving, right? So it's moving, and while it's moving, it's brightening up the surface. You're seeing a light all around it. Pathways on the surface, lines, corridors, bridges. So now we're going to talk about some mining, either pit mining, gravel mining. There's a whole bunch of machinery that's used. And look here, guys, this is like a stack, or it's lying down, I don't know, but it sure is symmetrical. And we're going to compare with images from Earth like that to see and invert the mining images, some of them anyways, to get an idea. Like here, for example, this line that I'm seeing here on the moon that I believe is constructed. Here's a really interesting image. It's underwater. We're very high up, image over top of an an old mining, it could be ancient actually. Anyways, it was a mining area, and you can see here in the inversion the lines that it shows. So some of these are limestone quarries, and like this one here, I believe, and there's marble quarries. Imagine marble, right? Carving a city in marble would be absolutely incredible. But these are just some views and just some lines that you could really relate to what we're seeing on the surface of the moon too, when we're seeing often lines side by side and even piles of blurry substance, which I don't know what it is, but you see here, piles of dirt, like they're continuing to make roads further across, to cut across, whatever they have to do, right? This is for pit mining, right? So that it's just an open mine, a big circle, and they're in the bottom of the mine. But these big wheels and machinery, big wheels keep on turning. Imagine how big they can be on the moon, right? So you gotta wonder sometimes if on the moon it wasn't giants living up there on the moon, because you're like, wait a minute, you see these areas on the moon of structuring that are pretty massive. They're like 20, 30 miles long, some of them. So could they have dug tunnels inside of the moon? It's not that impossible. They could be mining and going through with trucks. We wouldn't even see them, right? On the moon. So now when you saying that, now what about Stonehenge? What do you think Stonehenge could be? How did they get the rock standing up? Everyone's wondering about that. I'm not too impressed about the rock standing up. I think they knew a lot more than us. Look here, you can see a rock that's cut there. Literally cut by a machine. That's not cut by hand. You can see the straight edge. Look at this rock there. And the roundness of it, the way this is carved out with machinery, right? 2000 BC, my ass. So now when I show Copernicus, that's on the top left there, and look at all the lines running underneath, who's saying in the center there, I'll show you a bit closer, you watch, who says it's not a quarry with actual structuring? Sure, the structures will have round-ish edges. Anything square may even look a little roundish, and that's because of the parallax, the libration, two celestial objects, one beside the other, that we're seeing on from here, and that's why we're seeing objects lying down. So these objects are higher, right? That could very well have been a quarry or a company or something. So look at the different gases and blurs that are in different areas. It really does look like Grand Canyon style area where they dug up the whole surface, and you see all these connections and even different elevations. Mr. C. Crawface and Miss Darla Lama, I love you guys. Thanks a lot for the ongoing support.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem.